I'm Heather Brooks, and I'm here with, on behalf of Mainstream Media, with Mark Burnham, the Operations Manager for the Special Services Division of American Medical Response. Today I'm going to learn from Mark about the operations of this division and how they reach out to the community in various ways to those who cannot go out or experience the community as they would like. And I know that this is what we do here at Mainstream Media, and Mark and his team in Special Services have, I know, enabled me in very special ways to participate in community activities. So, hi Mark.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm well. It's a pleasant day outside and a pleasant day for a journey in. Thank you, first of all, for lending me the ambulance to get final 5 minutes here. Because neither of us knew, Todd or I, that the company was across the freeway.
Well, we just want to make sure you were safe.
Yes. Thank you so much. So I had some questions for you. First of all, as I mentioned, you really helped me with a dream of mine to participate in a certain aspect of the community. And we'll get more into that later, but first of all, how did this division of AMR come to be?
Well, Special Services Division, we found out that it was needed, and there's a couple reasons why. Most ambulance companies in the Portland area will respond to emergency calls. So there's another ambulance company that's to the west side of the area, and they handle a certain area, and they have certain ambulances set up around the county, and if an emergency call comes down, they go to that emergency call. Well, sometimes there's people like yourself who just need to get out into the community, or you want to go to a doctor's appointment, or you want to go grocery shopping. So if you're calling for one of their ambulances to do a non-emergent transport, you may end up waiting longer because the ambulance that's coming to get you may get called away for a 911 call. So AMR thought the process through and found out it'd probably be better to have a division that did nothing but non-emergent transports. And so that's how Special Services came about, is that we do wheelchair transports, we do hospital-to-hospital transports, doctor transports. So everything that's non-emergent that doesn't fit into the 911 system, so that way people don't have to wait for a 911 ambulance to become available, they can use the Special Services ambulances.
And will you explain something that had the people who asked me about it curious? When I went up to my event, they kept asking me if the driver had turned on the sirens, and I later learned that there are no sirens on non-emergent vehicles. How comes that to be, and how come they still look sort of like ambulances?
We have several different types of ambulances. We do have non-emergent ambulances that do have lights and sirens on them, because they can be pulled in to run an emergency call in emergency situations. Or if they came across an emergency on the road, they may turn on their lights to warn other cars. Our wheelchair vehicles that pick people up in wheelchairs, they're just vans that look like the ambulance. And that's just because American Medical Response is a national ambulance company. We like to have all of our vehicles look the same. And so when our logos are on a vehicle and they're on a wheelchair van, they're marked similar to our ambulances. So, you know, some of our ambulances that we use for non-emergent are actual ambulances that have lights and sirens on them, and then we have a whole fleet of wheelchair vans that pick people up in wheelchairs and transport them, and those don't have sirens on them.
How did you specifically come to be involved in this department and in this area of expertise?
Well, I actually started working at American Medical Response in 1997, and I was working in the Business Development and Governmental Affairs Department of AMR. And I worked there for several years and then went to work at the Oregon Healthcare Association as a Director of Education and Member Services. And while there, I had a good time. It was a fun place to work, but I really missed working in the ambulance profession. And so I was offered a job to come back at AMR, and that when I came back, they were looking for someone to manage the Special Services Division. So that's how I came back on board, and I was very excited about that because my time at Oregon Healthcare, I worked with people with disabilities. I was on the Area Agency on Aging. I had worked in a lot of the county groups with disability factions or groups, you know, to help with transportation, things like that. So when I got back involved in the Special Services Division, I was able to manage the vehicles to do those types of transports, and that was exciting to me to go from one expertise to the other and be able to combine those two with the Special Services Division.
Now, this is going to take a personal turn because I heard about you through Jackie Ramsey and what you had done for me for the benefit of our viewers. Let me say that Jackie Ramsey was a dispatcher here at AMR, and is just a wonderful lady. But I heard about her I heard about you from her when I asked her actually if, in fact, this division of AMR had ever been acknowledged for what they do in cases like mine. And she said no. But, so, first of all, I have a question for you, and that is, how did you hear about me?
I like to ask the dispatchers and my employees to keep their eyes open for special situations where we can help other people with wishes, with opportunities to brighten their days, for ways to just go above and beyond. And lots of times I'll have people call me up. Last year, we do quite a bit of stuff, and I had a person call me up and sort of tell a story about you and that you wanted to go see some horses, you want to do some things, and they asked me if it'd be possible that we could help out with that, and you know, we did. I was able to contact some employees that were willing to help and arranged for it, and we were just happy that you could be happy and do what you wanted to. But for us, it's not about going out and telling everyone that's what we did. It's more about making sure that there's people in the community that are happy and are able to get the things that they can get to, and that sort of means a lot to us. And you know, when Jackie says we don't get recognized, we get recognized every now and then, but we really try to keep it on a low key because we don't want to think that's the only reason why we're doing things. We're doing it because it's the right thing to do, and our crews really have a good time doing it.
That's where the people that you help come in, and we are the ones who have the privilege and the honor to recognize you in various ways. In fact, this was actually born out of my first experience of being on the news for a different, unrelated event, and I thought, you know, wouldn't it be fun to do a media story involving horses? And obviously there are no horses here, and for reasons that are not related to this, we're not at the barn, but I thought, wouldn't it be fun to do either something with horses or something that acknowledged AMR and that kind of highlighted the emergency personnel as people beyond their jobs. Because if you think about it, you go, there's an emergency situation of any sort, whether it's an accident or a murder or some other crime, and what are the first things you see? Almost before you see the victims, you see the emergency personnel, the police and the fire, and it's almost like they're fixtures, and they kind of almost in a way lose their humanity to a lot of people. And when I found out for instance, that Brandon and Jackie had horses, Brandon being Jackie's significant other. When I found out that they had horses, that really humanized them for me. And the way I found that out was, it was in the middle of the night, and I had woken up out of a dead sleep with my heart racing and an asthma attack. And I'm like, this is not right. So I had someone call 911, and Brandon was the paramedic who rode in the back with me. And he obviously sensed that I was terrified because something just was not right. And we started talking about my hobbies, and I had mentioned to someone a couple of months before this that I wanted to be around horses as much as I could in the coming year, because this was at the beginning of 2011. I had mentioned that I wanted to be around horses as much as I could in the coming year, and I said, Brandon, well, I listed my hobbies, and then I said, well, I really like horses, but I don't have a lot of opportunity to be around them, and what are the chances he pipes up, I have a horse? And so off we were. We were talking, different breeds and genders and just about everything you can talk about with horses, and Brandon goes, well, I'm gonna see if I can get you in an ambulance up to Battleground. Didn't think anything more about it, because I figured don't hold your breath. And lo and behold, 4 months later, Brandon comes and he says, in the middle of July, do you want to go see the horses on Saturday? And so I said yes, and we went up, and it was the most amazing experience. I had completely I remembered that I loved horses, but I think once I saw them, I remembered what a thrill these creatures were to me. And which brings me to my next question, which is this the sort of, for lack of a better word, high you get from helping people achieve their dreams? Like there are pictures of me, and they will be shown at various points during this presentation. There are pictures of me with the horses, and people on my Facebook page commented that I looked happy in them, and and I was wondering, is this watching like the expression on, say, my face or on somebody else's face when they get to do something they didn't think they were going to get to do? Is that the sort of, for lack of a better word, high you get from doing something like this?
It is a very rewarding time. I know for me, there's your situation, there's been a couple other situations, and I wasn't there to see you, but what I was there to see was the people that helped you and that were there with you. And when you see them excited about it, it just makes a better workplace. When your employees are excited about helping others, excited about being able to step out and do things for other people, it really excites you that you're able to help them, have a better workplace. There's sometimes people, you want your employees to want to come to work, and when they're here and they're happy, that's a great thing. When you manage a group of people and they're happy about their jobs, that's always a good thing.
So, and I know that making others happy is incredibly beneficial to the human psyche, and I can, just from hearing you speak, I can hear how excited you are and were about what you do. And from personally, I just want to thank you so much for what you do, not only for me, but for everyone that you help, and even to your employees, thank you for helping them keep their spark of excitement alive, because excitement is contagious, and other people's excitement feeds your own. And so I just wanted to thank you so much for what you do, not only for me, but for them and for everyone involved.
Well, thank you. We're just glad that we can make a difference. We're glad that we can be there for the community, because AMR, a lot of people don't realize this part, but next year our company will have been in service in the Portland area for 100 years. And so for us, it's not just about, you know, serving the community. It's more about a legacy and a promise that we've had to this community. And so we are always looking for ways to reach out to the community of people that have made us successful here.
You know, and you not only benefit the physical needs of people, but you benefit the emotional needs, and there is a lot of emotional healing that goes on, I'm sure, through the events that you take people to. And as I said, through that, we can learn that your employees are as human as we are. For instance, as Todd will say, is that not so, Todd, that you and Ryan on the way over here, Ryan being the driver, were discussing comedy, stand-up comedy, and in addition to horses as an interest, Brandon loves chess, which I love, and Jackie loves to read, which I also love. And it was very interesting to just come and see them as people outside of work, out of uniform, who just enjoy having a fun time. And basically what your division does allows us both to see them as people and to befriend them as people with common interests. So, as I have said over and over again, thank you so much.
I'm just glad we could be there. Thanks.
Okay, good job, guys.